Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Preston, aka Mr. Travels, and I got my boy Young Ryan in the building. Say what's up, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, so this is our first episode with Adventures with Pictures, and we'll be covering various topics as traveling, photography, entrepreneurship, and finance. A little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Preston. Married with 5 kids, got 4 girls and 1 boy. Got that one boy. I'm an Army veteran. I was in the Signal Corps when I was in. Had a great, outstanding time. Got to travel a lot. Some of my hobbies include spending time with my family, traveling, and riding my motorcycle. Go ahead, Ryan. What you got?
Well, as you said, I'm Ryan. I'm also happily married. We have 1 daughter. I've been a multimedia specialist for the U.S. government since 2008. In addition to that, I just revisited opening up a freelance photography business, Taylor Multimedia. And during my free time, I enjoy exercise, quality time with my family, and just taking freelance for photography, just because I just love capturing a good scene and just seeing what good angles could go with. My goal is to try to just get something that looks magazine ready almost. So that's all about me.
That's what's up, man. Like I said, I know your work. We're trying to get everybody else invested into your work.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm definitely a student of the game, and I definitely hope I can learn a lot from you from these coming weeks, years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying we've been doing each other since 2001, so we've been rocking out for a while.
Oh, yeah, almost 20, baby.
Yeah, almost 20. You know what I'm saying? I feel it too. These gray hairs. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't all from age. Them kids. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So one of the first things I want to talk about would be say traveling, since that's the first topic I said. And I know you travel domestically, internationally. I think one of the first cities I would like to talk about is a city that I've never been personally, but I do want to go one day. It's definitely on the hit list, like I said. It's Cozumel. Can you tell us about Cozumel?
Yeah, Cozumel was great. My wife and I, we went during our actual honeymoon. We got married in 2010. And just from the scenery, just the environment alone, I mean, you're talking about clear blue water, soft sands, friendly locals, so much other things to do. Very, very clean facilities as far as our hotel is concerned. We actually stayed at the Wyndham Resorts when we went there. Mm-hmm. And as far as things to do down there, I mean, of course, I like to try to sightsee and just be a tourist every time I go to a new place. But also, if there's one reason or another that maybe you don't get into the tourist thing, there was plenty to do at our hotel. One of the first things we did, first of all, we had a deal where everything was all inclusive. We're talking about your food, from breakfast, lunch, and dinner to drinks. And, sometimes on vacation, I like to partake in the drink. And in addition to that, yes. And in addition to that, we did snorkeling in the clear blue water. Actually saw a barracuda face to face, which scared me half to death. But fun. So we did snorkeling. We actually did, it's not called parasailing, but we did the event where we had one of the local businesses take us on a speedboat. And while he was on the speedboat, we're on the back on like a parachute, just looking at everything. Just from that.
You're not floating in the air.
Yeah, we floated in the air by like
your life.
Yeah. It was fun. It was extreme. And another thing that it's not something that was scheduled, but it just so happened to be while we were there. There was a cruise that did like a little pit stop and at the Cozumel right outside of our hotel, and they had like a little impromptu kind of like a pool party in the ocean in a sense, and we kind of just pool party crashed our way in there, and I got to dive off a extremely one-story inflatable rock into the ocean. That was very fun. And other than that, we just picked up a lot of souvenirs just from some of the local stores and just malls. One of the challenges that I personally felt, it wasn't that great of a challenge, but it was a bit of a challenge. Not necessarily the Wyndham, not necessarily from the Wyndham Resorts faculty or employees, But from other locals, if you're trying to talk, there's always that language barrier unless you're already really fluent in Spanish.
Yeah.
And other than that, the next biggest, actually, I should have went first. The biggest barrier during the time that we visited, the biggest barrier was we were told that highly advised not to just go out on your own as far as touring is concerned, because during that time it was like escalated, I guess, cartel or gang activity out there. And I know we'll get to it in down the line, but if you know me as the type of traveler I am, I don't really do the scheduled tour thing. So I would have been the guy roaming around Cozumel looking crazy and ran into like some trouble. But overall, man, that's what made the trip so fun, man. Once again, just to recap that, like I said, there was plenty to do on the resorts, from risking your life with the, I believe it's called parasailing.
I think it is parasailing, but that sounds good.
Yeah, parasailing was very fun. Snorkeling, hopefully you don't run into any barracudas like I did.
I'd rather run into a barracuda than a shark. So.
I suppose. Both got teeth, but I guess the barracuda will be the lesser of the two evils.
I don't hear too many barracuda deaths, though.
You're right. You're right. But so that's how Cozumel was. Very fun trip, man. But I know, even though it's not Cozumel, I know you went to go to somewhere in Mexico as well. Was it Mexico City?
Mexico City.
Okay. Yeah. How was that?
So Mexico City is completely different than, say, Cozumel. Just based off the strength of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's obviously it's just all city for me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm not a big beach, palm tree type of dude. You know what I'm saying?
You're missing out.
Yeah, like I don't want to be. I'm already like, all right, I don't need that sun leaning on me anymore. That thing get to being heavy on your back.
I mean, that's what the ocean water's there for, dog. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Then like you said, you get them old barracudas, you know what I'm saying? Now they on your back. Physically, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like I said, Mexico City was super dope, man. Like, me and my wife, we went out there for our anniversary. I believe it was our anniversary. It's either our anniversary or our birthday. You know what? Anniversary. And we went out there, and here goes my son. He wants to be part of this event too.
That's cool.
Come on, son. Come on. Come here. Oh, he's camera shy. Oh, you got your Lego man too? Just say hi and go back upstairs, okay? All right, here we go. I'll show him your necktie.
Uh-oh, my man is fresh.
Tell him you look like a manager. Okay, he's shy. He don't want to talk. Okay. Way to be famous. You're my first guest on our podcast, okay? Go let mommy know you're our first guest. So like I was saying, by the way, let me plug this in while he's still standing here. Our only boy, he was born in Germany. He was born in Germany by two American parents, though, so he didn't get dual citizenship, if you're wondering. I really did try, though. I was like, can we get dual citizenship? It was like, nice. So like I said, Mexico City was just, like I said, it was all city. And for me, those are the best adventures. That's the ones that I like to take.
Okay.
Really into architecture, whether it's like Gothic or, medieval or early 1900s, whatever century it is, I'm just really into it.
Okay.
And that's what we pretty much went there for. We did a quick, I think about 5 days down there. And then while we was down there, we got to see the pyramids.
Oh, nice.
About an hour from the city. So we took a private tour for that.
Okay.
It wasn't private, like, as in the sense of just me and my wife. It was maybe 4 of the couples and like a little minivan. And we did that. And we also did our own little just walking around, because I like to immerse myself in whatever culture I can. And that's, like I said, that's what we did. And so,
what about like some type of do you have any like minor setbacks or barriers or challenges or anything like that when you were there?
So, like you said, the only barrier or challenge I would say would be the language.
Okay.
I know a little bit of Spanish, enough to get around, enough not to get mugged. And my wife, she knows about the same or maybe a little bit more. So that helped out a lot. And like I said, so to overcome some of those challenges, so like i.e. the language barrier, that's when I got that good old Google Translate. So I always bring, my cell phone whenever I go, make sure it's still active.
Right.
And I just put my stuff on international plan, and you pay whatever fee that is. And then, go down there. Now you got your cell phone. You can walk around with confidence that you're not going to get lost. Right. If you want to do the whole go off the beaten path. And, but yeah, that's like I said, that's pretty much Mexico City. Like I said, it was like any other city, just, a lot older, had a, obviously Hispanic, vibe to it, obviously, because it's Mexico. But it's like Mexico got a lot of hidden gems, like more than just, like say the Cozumels or your Cancuns and stuff like that. Like those places sound fun, Cabo, because I heard they're beautiful. But and people always ask me like, why did you choose Mexico City? Why not like the beach and see the clear waters? I was like, mind your business. But I was like, I'm like, I like what I like. And my wife, generally speaking, kind of goes with like whatever I choose, because she knows I'm gonna try to pick something dope. We're gonna stay somewhere, real nice. Everything's gonna be on a budget, obviously, because I got like 33 kids. But we definitely ain't gonna live in like something crazy where I'd be like, oh wow, wake up like, oh, why we in the alley? You know what I'm saying? Like, why we to the hotel?
You ain't coming through in the hostel out there, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, see, that movie kind of messed me up. It messed it up for everybody, you know what I'm saying?
It did. I was like, I'm never doing a hostel. And my nephew did a hostel, like, briefly in LA. And I was like, man, listen, man, like, me, her, his parents were like, we gotta get you out of there, Chan. You can't be doing a hostel.
Yeah, it'd be like $3 a night for a hostel. The prices sound cool until you wake up in a bathtub full of ice. And be like,
with your kidney missing, like, where my kidney go?
You know what I'm saying? So hostel kind of ruined it for me. Because I mean, man, those hostel prices be dope. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? So like I'm saying, so when you're watching movies, sometimes you get a little truth in the movies, but I always feel like, somebody just didn't come out with this idea out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everything's not Hollywood, but but yeah, like I said, I didn't have friends that stay in hostels, and it was just fine. They might try to stay more upper class, a little bit more classier, where they might spend, $12 a night in the hostel versus $3.
Yeah.
So like I said, that was cool. Like I said, I'm sure the food was the same between Mexico City and Cozumel. I just ate a bunch of random stuff like every day. Like every day, me and my wife, we ordered like platters, like too much food for just me and her, but we wanted to try so many different foods. And we was like, and it was, like I say, it was very inexpensive, compared to the American dollar. So
heck yeah.
The food comparison, like, you know what I'm saying, like how that worked out for you, the conversion rate.
Oh, actually, the conversion rate was actually, being that we didn't even go off the resort, the conversion rate was well, I mean, the conversion was still good. I mean, because we went to like neighboring resorts where we had to pay, to eat, like maybe if we wanted like a change of pace, we would go a few hotels down and try their buffet for like breakfast or lunch. So no, to answer your question, the currency rate still was, I feel like, very beneficial in United Citizens' favor, for that matter. And that was actually my next, you beat me to it. That was actually my question for you, was like, what do you think about the food down there? Because, being as we have like such a long friendship, I don't have as quite as the vast open-mindedness or variety of foods as my wife does, or as you and Levine may do. So for that matter, if you're like a picky or a very small-minded eater like myself, resort food is where you need to go. I'm telling you, in Mexico, I got whatever type of French toast that I'm familiar with. Got me some
French toast in Mexico. Okay, my man.
I got all American-ish type of food in Mexico. I ain't venture off. You know what? The only thing I did try that was straight up from Mexico was churros. I got them churros though.
Yeah, churros is bomb. I never had it until I went to Mexico, and it was bomb. And I'm afraid to eat it again. Like I'm not afraid to eat it, but I don't want it in America. Because,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're gonna talk about this, in future episodes, whatever. But you eat something in America, and you be like, oh man, they tailor it for an American. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care if it's French food, I don't care if it's Japanese, Korean. It's American-like to get you to eat it because we're Americans.
Yeah.
You go to these countries, you be like, man, what is this? Like, this ain't what I normally would get, or this don't look like what I normally eat. And because I tell you, I've been to, like anybody else, plenty of Mexican restaurants in America, various states. It's nothing like it in Mexico. I'm talking in Mexico City, like the tacos. And so me and my wife, we ate street tacos.
My wife did too, yeah.
I mean, we ate, normally I wouldn't do it, but at the pyramids, at the base of the pyramids, they have a little structure that they, that sell like ornaments and, souvenir type stuff. But they also have like tequila. They have their, just various brands of like salsa from mild to super spicy to like your face gonna melt off. You know what I'm saying?
The dangerous stuff.
Yeah. So and tortilla chips and stuff like that go with it. And so we tried all the different dips and stuff, and it was good. Like normally I wouldn't do it because the dip was literally just sitting out. I was like,
like all day.
This is FDA approved, like what I'm saying, like you're supposed to have this on ice. Or stuff, you know what I'm saying? I love stuff been out. But I say, I'm always game to do something like that. So, and I said, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. We took pictures with the, like all the locals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I said it was a great time, man. Like I really did enjoy Mexico City, and I hope to go back to Mexico, soon. And visit. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's like Tulum.
Okay.
Which is near Cancun, like an hour or two from that region. But all the pictures I see is just amazing. It's like I said, as a photographer, I just think it's one of the places that you would just be like a photographer's dream.
Oh man, yeah.
The setups you probably can do, and because like I said, for me, just an outside looking in, right? Taking about 1,000 pictures like anybody else. But it's a difference between me just a run-of-the-mill, I take a picture and I move on. But when you're like a real photographer, I think, like you said, you got to have that eye. You got to be like, just like this or like that. And, like I said, I've taken a lot of pictures that I didn't care that the picture would come out good, as long as it came out clear.
Right.
And that's my extent of being a photographer. Hey, take a picture. Is it clear?
It's not fuzzy, right?
Not fuzzy? You're good. And now I'm trying to like get out of that mindset and say, hey, let me get the best angle I can get. Let me take 3, 4, 5 angles, on the same, building or same structure or the same person or the same whatever, same event, and try to create the best photo that I could possibly take. Because like I said, I'm not a real big person on airbrushing. Oh my gosh, I hate airbrushing. I mean, like
it's time consuming.
Airbrush certain things, but when you get to the level where it's like, dude, this don't even exist in like the world. Like, that's when I started saying, okay, yeah, it looks nice on in a magazine or because it really is a letdown if you're not like familiar with pictures or you're not familiar with certain areas. That when you see a beautiful photo and you actually visit where that photo was taken, and you get you're like, what is this? Like, so,
yeah. You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever been hungry and you see like one of those ads on like a metro stop or something, and it'd be like the most juiciest McDonald's burger, and then you go and that thing be like just be sloppy like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what I saw. But to your point, man, about the airbrushing and stuff like that, I truly believe, this is just my theory. Once again, even though I have that experience as a photographer, I'm not the end-all, be-all expert. I'm sure if whoever listens in, they might be able to prove me wrong with certain things. But my theory, or at least what was handed down to me in learning, your whole goal is when you take a great photo, or even your whole goal when you record something, whether it's video or photography, especially photography. Your whole goal is when it comes to in post, you want to be sure to edit as little as possible. That's how you know you really took a really good photo, when you have to edit as little as possible in your Photoshop or your Lightroom or whatever other post photography software, editing software you may have. You know, like, so if you have to, if you take like a picture that's a little iffy or whatever the case may be, and you got to go in there, you got to try to sharpen the image this and airbrush that. You know, that overall, you have to do all that. That sounds like it was a rushed photo, and you may not want to use that in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, and I learned that, I say about a month ago, when I came back from my last trip, and you was telling me like, hey, editing software can only do so much. If it's a bad photo, it's a bad photo.
Yeah, man.
I really try to pay attention to that, or I really try to, okay, this is horrible. And now that I go back through some of my past pictures, I've been like, man, what was I thinking? Like, man, why did I take a picture like that? Or why did I cut off that? And I'm like, oh man, I didn't even get the whole picture, so.
Yeah. My coworker taught me. You say you what?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I said my coworker. That video too. It's funny. Like my coworker from my time at Fort Belvoir. What he taught me was, hey man, trash in. Excuse me. Trash in is just trash out. Trash going into that in software is going to be just as trash coming out.
That motto applies to every aspect of your life. I mean, think about it. Whether it's, trying to lose weight, hey, trash in is trash out. I don't care if it's job performance. Hey, if you ain't putting the time and the effort, obviously it's going to show in your reports or your daily duties and stuff like that. Whether it's marriage, I didn't say this marriage, relationships in general.
Yeah. Even sports. People who practice football in sports.
Sports. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, people really do need to pay attention to that and just take pride in things. And, and like I said, I ain't going to say I've been, all knowing, like I've been doing this my life or whatever, but now that I'm, more in business minded or in business mode, I try to think about that. Like, what would my customer want to read? Or what would I want to read if somebody else is putting something out? So, what I'm saying, like this podcast, I really want to make this, our baby, what I'm saying, and be like, okay, I want to cultivate, I want to feed, I want to nurture, I want it to grow.
Yeah.
It's just something positive that others can, look at and be like, man, I really liked what they was talking about. Or, like if they hear something like on our podcast, they can reach out to us. And like I said, I don't mind answering questions or, whatever. So, cause that's why I'm getting into this,
Right. And I know, just get into our main topic or whatnot. I know you brought up like you've, been taking like a serious mindset when it comes to, your business or your podcast, things of that nature. Just overall, my overall personality, I try to be as optimistic as possible. I try to look at the silver lining in things. And I know, unfortunately, the coronavirus has already taken, thousands of lives, things of that nature. Of course, there have been plenty of plans that had to be canceled or whatnot. For example, just like yourself, I was trying to start my business as well. I had a few, not a lot, but I had like a handful of, wedding gigs. I had a couple of Bible camp gigs lined up for the summer, and more likely, at least the summer gigs, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes away too. But I guess the reason I brought up the whole optimism and seeing the silver lining thing, I do believe with me trying to quarantine more often, it has allowed me to be more productive in things such as, seeing how I can improve my, what type of improvements I can make personally when it comes to photography. I know you said you wanted to see other things you can improve as well during this unfortunate time. And of course, later on, let's get on to see what, how the coronavirus even alter your plans as well.
So that's a good topic. So first I want to say, my heart goes out to all the families that are affected by the COVID-19 situation. And it's just a terrible just terrible time right now.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, I never imagined in my lifetime that I would experience something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You read about it in, history books or whatever, and it doesn't really resonate with people because obviously, all the major ones, at least I feel major, like, the plague or something that happened so long ago, like they can't even fathom, like, oh, well, it wasn't like it was your aunt or your grandmother. It's like more or less your great-great-grandma, somebody that passed away probably, years ago, maybe,
Right.
So, but saying all that, yeah, so, yeah, it's, the COVID-19 really changed and altered, my life, my life. So, like, for as far as personally affecting me, kids homeschooling now, I have a daughter in high school, and it really, like, shined a light that there wasn't, at least for my school district where I live, there wasn't anything really in place for something like this. If kids are forced to stay at home and still learn, that there wasn't a internet-based or web-based system put in place to say, hey, we shut down on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, we can enact this. Like, nah, it was just like, oh, you can't go to school on Friday? Yeah, I'll just take the next couple of weeks off until we figure this out. Yeah. So, like I said, it's a lesson learned for, I think, everybody in the government, but that's one of the things, like homeschooling, and even becoming homeschooling. So that means now everybody has to have computers or tablets or whatever. So you definitely got to make sure you have all that. So for me being a IT person, I mean, I got, at least 7, 8, 10 computers in my house, and tablets, cell phones, and fast internet. So that's really not a problem, say, for my family. But that's just some of the stuff that, that affected me at first, because I had to pull out computers and be like, let me wipe this off. Let me update the software. Let me, get it operational for my kids. And then I said, like, me and my wife, we have to work from home now. So, but one of the downfalls of that, like, we work from home, both of our jobs entail calling, talking to customers, talking to people. So, you got kids in the background, like say my son earlier in the show. Hey, they don't care. Yeah. Hey, I need you to be dad, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Don't apply to me right now. So, then you got to be prepared for that, like I said, when you're working, and it's me and my wife, we're both essential personnel. So, at times, we got to go in and, now you're paranoid. Like, I don't want to bring her home to my kids, to my wife, or, whatever. So, but that's been rough on that level. Also, having like enough supplies, which would be, food and, just medical kits and, just anything, like just the simplest things that you just take for granted, like toiletries.
Yeah.
You just think like, oh, I got enough toilet paper or paper towels or, toothpaste, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Band-Aids. So just that type of stuff, really, I was like, oh man, I'm really not prepared, And then I said the last thing that's personally affecting my family would be keeping the family mentally prepared for the future. So, like, keeping spirits high. Because, like for my kids, they don't really, even my high schooler, they kind of like, oh, well, this is just something that's hurting the world, but they don't have a full concept of it. Like, oh, this is real.
This is real.
Like, they're just like, oh, we're at home. We started summer 2 months early. That's in their minds,
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this is like serious. People are losing their lives. And my wife, she has a twin, a nurse. And
that's got to be scary, man.
Yeah, so she sees it like, she's one of the front line people, and my hat goes off to her, her and her family, because you have to think about it. You're going to a place where you're known. They got known patients, that have, this virus, and that's got to be scary. And then, like, same thing with my wife's older sister. She's a scientist, so she's on the front line on that, dealing with the virus and trying to figure out cures and getting packages to people, to organizations and stuff like that. So it's just a bad time, man. And it's just being unprepared, like having just a simple mask or glove.
Oh yeah.
So like I said, just keeping my family prepared for what might come down the pipeline in a month or two. Because like I said, stuff changes every day.
Yeah.
You know which news source you get your news from.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are saying, "Oh, it's getting better." Some people's like, "Nah, bro, it's getting worse."
Yeah, yeah. I keep hearing conflicting reports too. You don't know which one to believe. It's just that's what's so scary. Like whatever, depending on your news outlet, you don't know what's really,
Yeah.
you know, if it's getting better or worse. And even with that matter, like just going forward, one of the things that actually, concerns me actually, just two quick stories, and I hand it back over to you. I know both of our parents, just moving forward, I just wanted it. I'm curious, I'm concerned rather if this is going to be the new norm. Like you have to walk around on your average Tuesday with masks on. Like for example, our parents are both, older. And quick story, I went to New Jersey, I guess a few weeks ago when it wasn't too bad. Tanisha is currently up there tending to her best friend's pregnancy. She could give any day right now. And so she's a single mother. And so as a single mother, being that my wife's best friend is a single mother, my wife wanted to be there to support any way possible. But so I went to New Jersey to, I think, drop Taylor off to go see if there's any way she could help out as well. Long story short, when I came back, my mom being the, Southern belle that she is, if she had some extra food, she was like, hey, Ryan, want to come over to get a plate? And I lied to you not. I was like, yeah, I'll come and get a plate. I just came from New Jersey, though. Just give me a heads up. She was like, oh, that's the epicenter. And it was like a drug deal. She was like, I'm going to leave the food in I'm going to leave the food in the garage. You go in, I'm going to have a Tupperware order for you. You just pull up and you can take it. You can go back home. And she was like, now, if you are not sick 14 days after your trip, you can come in the house. And so it got that real. Like, and, there was.
Yeah,
yeah. Is that real?
Like baby boomers, but like baby boomers, man, like it's real out there for them. I mean, it's real for everybody, but baby boomers especially,
yeah.
They was talking about how bad it can get. But so how does it affect your family? Like, anything like?
Oh, I mean, well, as far as my family, the main reason that it affects my family, once again, as I mentioned, I really tip my hat off to my wife, as I mentioned, because New Jersey is only like, 20, 30 minutes outside of New York. And I hear New York is like one of those big hotspots for COVID-19. And so my tip my hat off to my wife and actually her best friend, which I really enjoy as well. She's a very good person. But I just tip my hat off to her. It affects us because it's been like a little over a month now that my wife has been in New Jersey, supporting her best friend, going through this pregnancy. There's been times to where, her best friend is a little nervous because this is her first child. She doesn't know what to expect, things of that nature. So my wife has been there just trying to, walk her through all this, that's what's going on. So as far as how's it affecting my family? Well, for one, I'm missing out on that quality time with your wife because, as I mentioned, we talk every day as much as we can. But as I mentioned, it's almost like a long distance relationship that, it's essentially a long distance relationship for like the past month, But as far as in house, me and Taylor, we've been straight, You know what? It's a funny story. She might be a little embarrassed by it, but one way it affected my daughter, at least. She has overall good grades. And there was this one subject, I won't say, but, little iffy. It was a little on that, D+ level, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because, and she told me why she struggled with it. It was actually physics. And I'm not the physics guy, so I can't be no in-home help. But because you have no choice but to be homeschooled yourself now because of this whole thing, she's found other resources that she's allowed to use now. And that D went up to a B because it's like, hey, I'm in the house. I have no excuse to fail any course really because I'm home. If there's a problem I need help with, I have classmates I can actually call and rely on, and it's not like she's cheating or anything. This is a brand new situation. We can so I think it's resourceful in her case that her as well as other students are like leaning on each other more outside of the classroom, as opposed to possibly struggling with something that's as complex or as confusing as like physics could be. So, so that's how I see affecting my family. But even moving forward, really quick, like I know we have to wrap things up soon. Even moving forward, I had an interesting conversation with my wife over the phone, and we were talking about, I read an article that AMC theaters might be closing. Like this might hit businesses hard.
Right.
You said what?
That's a teardrop moment, Denzel style.
For me especially, because me, I'm a movie. I love the overall movie experience. The movie could be corny, but like if the movie theater experience was lit, hey, I'll accept a corny movie here and there. Like me and my wife, we go to date nights to like the Cine Bistro all the time, where you can, eat and watch a movie at the same time, stuff like that. But even like if I go by myself, oh yeah, I frequent an AMC movie, but just to hear that, hey, some businesses might not come out of this thing clean, baby.
Oh yeah. Some places you're gonna be like, you ain't gonna make it.
Exactly. It's like, dang.
Somebody ain't gonna make it.
And yeah, nobody will make it, baby. I mean, and even like your smaller businesses, like my local barbershop, I'm wolfing right now, but I just can't run down the street to get my hair cut. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're gonna actually strive to at least be one of the people who strive the most, when it's all said and done. Because you got people like me out here who need to cut. I actually put this, my wife did this for me, just so I could not have to, rely on a haircut, stuff like that. So, she would do stuff like that for me. And so it's been crazy.
Having a Jay-Z baby?
Yeah.
Somebody gotta be Jay-Z number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Why not me, baby? That's it, man. So,
why not you?
Yeah. That's it.
That's what I'm saying, man. So, like I said, man, it's a fact, like you said, to your point about the small businesses, shit. I mean, I don't want to cuss, but we're both small businesses,
Yeah.
So, it's crushing my small business. I was like, damn, it's the wrong year to start. I was like, I'm like less than 2 months in, I'm already like, I need financial help though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, but so yeah, like, like I said, it's affecting my, so my whole business is predicated around traveling. So if I can't leave my residence, I can give you a picture of this window. I can give you a picture of this, doorknob. I got those for days. So I'm saying not being able to travel is really affecting my business on that level. And it's so I said, then like I said, part of my website, is me having enough material to actually, keep it going and whatever. So I have enough material to last a little while as far as as my blogs and stuff go. But when you're feeding the machine, all my social media platforms like the website, Instagram, and like YouTube, it's a little iffy,
Yeah.
because I can't give you so much because I gotta think about back in my mind, like, okay, I need to last, until August or October or whatever. So, and then one of the final things I think is really affecting my business, obviously, is just doing any type of meet and greets with people. Because, like I said, if I can't meet anybody, I can't expand in that manner. So mean, like I said, you really have to be, fluid with this whole situation and willing to go on a limb and really just, get in the crates, as they say, on social media to really reach out to people and stuff like that to try to, at least in my case, to help out. And that's pretty much different. That would be affecting my business, And then obviously with yours, it'd be pretty much the same as, I'm assuming, obviously nobody's getting married next week. So,
nope.
You know what I'm saying? It's even, and it's a small point, and then we can move on, but funerals are like deaths.
Oh, man.
People are really not allowed to come to a funeral to see their loved ones off. That's crazy.
Tough. That's tough.
And you read stories about funeral directors and saying, hey, only 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 close people can come. Not cousins and second cousins and all that. It's like, hey, you better be brother, sister, mother, father. That's it. And they're setting up little home studios so they can do live stream. And it's like, man, I can't imagine having to live stream a loved one's funeral.
Right, and not be there in person.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like, you know, as I talked to my sister-in-law, and she's like, oh, you know, people are on their deathbeds, and they're like, nope, can't come see them. They're gonna die by themselves. It's like, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to be like, cold with it, but it's like I get why you can't come. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I just hope it really do. Hope everything goes back to normal. Sooner than later, and we tough this out. This makes us stronger as a people, as a human race in general.
Yeah.
And this makes us appreciate life, and this makes us want to be a little bit more, cheerful, not to be so gloomy or get down on each other, or you know what I'm saying? Because if you see like all the murder rates dropped and stuff like that, you're just like, oh man, that's good. Pollution went down. You hear about cities like Venice, like their water is like clearing up, and dolphins and mermaids and everybody else is appearing all of a sudden. So to me, that's wonderful. But on the flip side, it's like we're only getting all this because people can't come outside, because of this virus.
Yeah, you're right. Only getting it because people can't come outside. And even to your point, like, be thankful. Of course, I know for first, like, I'm always been thankful for the military service. I'm always, if I see a veteran, hey, it's thank you for your service, things of that nature. But even for something as serious as this, like for the restaurants and grocery stores that's been open, I find myself saying thank you when I check out. Like, hey, man, thank you for just being open, just so I could get me some food. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy when, like I said, me being an Army veteran, I already know off top about being essential. You know what I'm saying? As far as like when you go to war, there's no, it's Friday night. I'm about to go get, have me some fun or something. Nah, bro, like you Friday night in whatever third world country you in, you gotta go work tomorrow. Like you're working 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, whatever the case may be. You're away from your loved ones. But for like civilians that's never had any type of military service or might not have any close relationship with any veterans or any service members. When people really start getting those phone calls or those emails saying, hey, you're essential. You come in, they looking like, what you talking about? So it's just, from that perspective, it's kind of like, wow, that to see how it affects just regular civilians and how they take the news and how I think veterans are like, oh, this is nothing new. Like, we've been, essential, or we've been put our lives, at risk, like the nurses, the doctors, the policemen, the firemen, and all that type of stuff. So, when you get that, like our homeboy Earl, hey, you're essential. Need you to come in. I know it had to hit him differently. Like, what you talking about?
Yeah, shout out to Earl. Yeah, shout out to Earl, man. Yeah, he out on that front line.
Yeah, he on the front line. So, like I said, my hat goes off, like you said, to everyone. Just, stay the course, believe in the process, as my man say. And, just keep your head up like everybody else. That's all we can do, and pray. And hope we make it out of this and we can get back to some type of normal lifestyle and just perceive a life. So, but yeah, like I said, like one of the things I wanted to talk about, like just the going forward part. And then you can caveat with anything you want to, bring to the table.
Sure.
So some of the things I thought about just going forward is having like just cash, because a lot of people lost their jobs or they took a reduction in hours. Just having an emergency cash for however many months you can sustain, like 3 months, 6 months, whatever you think is a good amount of money for you to actually sustain yourself. These things should be turning in people's heads like, yo, let me, after we come out of this, let me start putting, $50 away, $100, whatever you can afford.
Yeah, per pay period.
Per pay period, or just whatever you can put away a month. Because everybody might not be able to put something away every pay period, but you got to put something away. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be like for just retirement. You got to have those emergencies because obviously this is an emergency. So just having emergency cash. And another thing I thought about even for myself, like I said, is stocking up on reasonable number of items in my house, like masks. Never thought I would need a mask outside the military. you know, plastic gloves, medicine,
hand sanitizer,
just like a first aid kit, just toiletry items. And I'm not talking about become a hoarder, like, oh, I need 72,000 bottles of peroxide. Like, no, I'm not saying get numbers like that, like we're about to go to like a nuclear blast or something. But it's, like you said, man, this hit out of nowhere. So that should tell people this is not like, you know, it could never happen situation. So even if this only happens once in our lifetimes, it happened. So there's nothing to say it won't happen to our children's lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good practice to be like, oh, this is stuff that people need to think about. So for me, I will be getting, like, once everything goes to normal, I will be stocking up on certain things and just putting it away. Spend the money, put it away. Hope I never have to use it. It's a waste of my money. But for the peace of mind, hey, that's priceless, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, when it becomes, like I said, a thing of the past, I promise you I would take full advantage of traveling locally, internationally, as often as I possible, as I can, because, you know, I hear people complain like, oh, man, I'm getting, you know, homesick. You know, I'm tired of being home and, you know, all this other stuff. And it's like, you know, people start realizing like, man, you start taking stuff for granted, like just going outside and going to the playground, you know, with your kids, or going to the just going to like it's tax season. I had an appointment with H&R Block. They was like, don't come in. Like, what you talking about? You know? So simple stuff like that. You're like, man, I can't even go to H&R Block to file these taxes. So that's it's crazy to me. So so those are just things like, you know, like I said, going forward, I really would start saying, okay, I need to you know, start preparing for anything down the line. And I would say you can't prepare for everything, but some things like insurance. It's just in case you want to have that around. So is there anything going forward you think you might be changing?
Well, actually, even before I might be changing, to add to your point about, you know, people may want to start saving up. I read an article, if I can find it, I'll post it in the link later on, or I'll give people access to it. But there's like an alarmingly high percentage of people in America that, you know, don't have a savings account. They live check to check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a dangerously high amount, like 65% of it's something like that. So to your point, I think this will be a wake-up call for those who like I said, you may not have no choice but to live check to check, but at least moving forward, it's like, yes, I'm living check to check, but you know what? I'm going to at least take $50 a month or whatever you can afford to stack up. So if something like this happened again, I'll be, you know, better prepared. But as far as what me and my family are going to do moving forward, I actually you already touched on it. You know, I have because we've discussed finances offline plenty of times. I definitely have, you know, I feel like a safe, you know, cushion if for some reason I lost my job tomorrow, or if there's whatever, you know, catastrophic thing happens, I have some type of emergency fund. So really, it would just be to maintain those type of saving techniques to build up my emergency fund even more. Once again, if I don't have to use it, God bless. And also just to, I don't know, not to sound too depressing towards the end, but just make sure you have your stuff in order. Make sure, you know, if you don't have life insurance, get it, because, you know, because one of the things that I keep hearing is, or one of the, you know, like, you know, you don't know which thing to believe. Some people say it just affects, you know, older people. Some say it affects, you know, people with pre-existing conditions, things of that nature. Whatever the case is, you know, if you don't have life insurance, I would want to, you know, advise someone to look into it, because at least from the outside looking in and from the articles I've been reading, you know, it seems like it could happen to anybody. I read actually at I want to say there was like a assistant principal, 36 years old. Passed away. And matter of fact, there was a giant employee who I think passed away over the past weekend. So it can happen to anybody. And both of them were young. And according to what I read, I don't think they had a pre-existing condition. So it's unfortunately, which is very sad. It seems like anybody could get it, really. So don't just be like, oh, it only affects old people. I'm good. I'm only in my 30s. Nah, Anybody could get it. Just make sure you have all your stuff in order, which is something I make sure that I had. So just move forward. I just make sure I had all that.
Yeah, like I say, you just got to stay the course. And if you already got it, stay the course. If you don't have it, I need to get on course.
Yes.
And, like I said, just reach out to people, talk to your friends, read the newspaper, look at the news, something.
Mm-hmm.
Just inform yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just be informed.
Yeah.
That's like the best advice I can give people in any situation. Just be informed. It shouldn't take, something crazy happening in society to be like, oh man, I guess I do need this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So just be an adult about it and just, and like I said, and talk to your kids and just, make them realize like, hey, this one day you're going to be an adult.
Yeah.
And you might be in some wild situation. It could be anything in the future. So
yeah,
try not to, get surprised on things. But, like I said, man, it was a good talk, man. It was real good talk. And
we got our first episode of the books, in my opinion, man.
First episode of the books.
First one.
So, but yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. And, man, like, this is crazy, man. This is our first episode. And I'm pretty proud of this. And I thank you for sharing it with me, this whole experience.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, thanks for just coming with the idea, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking for many episodes to come, man.
Oh, yeah. The episodes I plan on, man, we got some things in store for everybody on these shows, whatever, these episodes. And like I said, I want everybody to know, like I said, be safe and take care. And we see you guys on episode 2.
Peace.
Peace.